In this video, I'm going to show you how to create music from practically anything. I think you'll be very surprised at the songs it creates. I'll do this by using Udio's audio upload feature. I'll show you how I created some awesome music just by recording some sounds from everyday items, and how it can be useful for storytelling and much more. Okay, let's get into it. So to start off, let's jump on the Udio website. Now, if you haven't used this before, it's an AI music generator. And all you have to do is write in the prompt up here and it will generate a song for you. If you don't have an account, there is a free version where you get to create 10 songs a day. So it's definitely well worth a try having a play with. So I've recorded multiple different sounds around my house. To start off, I'm going to use this sound recording I got of my keys. So all I did was I created a rhythm by throwing up my keys and catching them. I tried my best to keep a steady beat while I was doing this. It's not perfect, but I think it will do the job. And I'll come up to this upload button here and just confirm when this box pops up, and it will add it into the prompt. You can add whatever kind of song you want it to be in the prompt up here. So for this one, I just want it to be an epic song. You can add any of these tabs here. I'll leave manual mode off on this one. And if you come to crop and extend, it will show your recorded sound here. So if you play it through, you can hear it. And from here, you can trim it as well. So if you only want the recording to use 5 seconds, then trim it down to that. And then Udio will only use this section. And you can choose to add intro, add section before, after, and outro. And if you want to add your own custom lyrics or auto-generated ones. But for this one, I'm going to choose instrumental. And then you have the advanced features. So your prompt strength, lyric strength, seed, clip start, generation quality. I like to set this at ultra. I'll leave these at default. And I'll leave the context length at the highest settings. Okay, and click extend. It normally takes just under a minute to generate these songs. Okay, so it finished generating that song, so let's have a listen. And just a heads up, for most of these songs, I've generated some visuals to go along with it, just so that you have something to look at while listening to the audio. Udio does a great job at keeping the rhythm of the key sound into the music that it generates. So not only can you incorporate the sound of something, the rhythm also changes the tempo and the rhythm of the song it creates, which is really fascinating. And it means you get a lot more control over the rhythm and tempo of your song. Okay, and for song number 2, I used a recording of a plastic bag that I was scrunching up to get this sound effect. It's very similar rhythm to the keys one, but it's a totally different sound. I added it into Udio with a prompt of epic trailer music, so similar prompt to the one before. I just wanted to see how different it would come out. And this is the result. Cool, I thought that was awesome. You could hear the bag being used in the background through most of it. There was actually a portion where the bag sound disappeared, and then it brought it back later on in the song, and I thought that was really clever how it just didn't get rid of it. It kept it in there, and it used that beat as kind of the beat for the whole song. I think it helps add a bit more depth to the song as well. For this next song, I used a recording of my washing machine. I didn't think it would work that well because it's kind of a more ambient sound and there wasn't much rhythm to it. But I gave it a go and this is what it created. Before I play the song that Udio made, I'll just play the sound of the washing machine that I recorded. And here's the song that Udio made. Cool, and that was really interesting as the washing machine sound, you could hear it in the background for a lot of the track, and I believe it does help influence the sounds that Udio makes and creates within the track. It just created a nice ambient kind of background sound to the track. And just to note out, you can extend any of your songs and create a full-length song. I'm mostly going to be showing you shorter versions of songs, just so I can fit in more songs to this video. For this song, I used coffee beans. Now, I was thinking, how could I get a sound out of coffee beans? So I added some coffee beans into a pot and I just swirled them around and it created this sound. I thought it sounded pretty interesting, so I added it into Udio and I gave it a prompt of ambient techno, as I just wanted to see what it did with that. And here is the result. I thought that was a really cool tune actually, and it kept the sound of the coffee beans in the background of the track, which I think worked really well. And I actually created a second audio recording of the coffee beans, but instead of swirling the coffee beans, I dropped them into the pot, and this is the sound that it created. So it's similar, but it is different, and I gave it a prompt of epic music. And don't worry, I will be changing up the prompts in this video. They won't all be epic music. So this is how the audio of the coffee beans falling turned out. So that was really interesting. It kind of took the audio recording and warped it into a different kind of sound and then kept that sound throughout the song. So those are some of the audio that I recorded myself and turned into music. It's incredibly fun to do and it generates some really creative songs. Now for this next part, I'm going to use sounds that I found online or ones that you can create using some music software. So as an example, you can use that BandLab website. You can add your own tracks and add virtual instruments. So here we have a drum machine. So you can do basic, and if you play it back, you can start messing around with different instruments in here and create your own track. And then you can save that and upload it into Udio. And this will help if you want to control the rhythm of your Udio song. But I found a bunch of really cool sounds online that I put into Udio, and it gave me some awesome results. For this one, I found an audio clip of waves crashing on the beach, and this is what it sounds like. So I added that into Udio, and then I gave it a prompt of chill out, and this is the song that it created. I think it did a really good job at creating a kind of chill out vibe to the song. I could keep extending that to create a nice, long, ambient, relaxing track. The impressive thing was that it kept the ocean waves sound in the background to the track the whole time, and it didn't sound too distracting, to be honest. Then I had an idea to create a similar song with the waves crashing, but to add some lyrics into it. So this is what that sounds like. Again, I think Udio did a great job at creating a song with that sound effect that I gave it and adding the lyrics. It all came together in a really nice sounding song. So I definitely urge you to have a play with lyrics as well as the audio upload. And for this one, I used this trumpet sound. Which is a very classic sounding tune. And then I gave Udio the prompt of medieval classical music and heavy metal, and I gave it some lyrics to add. And this is what it sounds like. It cut out at the end there, but I think it did a great job. As you heard from the start, the trumpets were in there, and then it kind of did its own thing with the trumpets. The rhythm went a bit funky in parts, but I think in the most part it sounded really good. For this next sound, I had this idea of a time traveler, and I wanted there to be a clock sound effect in the music. And for this one, I used a grandfather clock sound. And gave it a prompt of epic folk metal and added some lyrics to it. So this is what that sounds like.
Clock tower ringing clear and bright, chiming through the day and night, guiding hearts with every sound as the world goes round and round.
Again, that did a really good job at incorporating the sound of the grandfather clock and the lyrics. This could work really well if you needed to add a song into a story. And still messing around with time, I found this cool kind of metronome sound effect, and this is what it sounds like on its own. And I gave it the prompt of progressive rock, and this is what it created. I think that sounds awesome. I really like that track. I feel like it's come straight from a kind of movie soundtrack. For this next track, I wanted to create a kind of narrative to it. So I found this sound effect which sounds like a giant beast walking, and it sounds like this. Then I uploaded it into Udio and gave it a prompt of folk metal, and I gave it some lyrics. So my aim here was to create some kind of song that I could use for a trailer or a mini animated film. So I actually created a short title sequence and a very crudely done video to go with it. And it gives you an idea of what you can use this music for. So this is what that sounds like.
The mist, a shadow looms, giant beast in twilight's gloom. Footsteps thunder, ground they shake. Villagers in fear awake.
Cool, I was really happy with how that turned out. I feel like the footsteps added more of a kind of impending doom behind the lyrics, and there wasn't so much instruments until the end when they kind of added in a guitar sound effect. So it just shows you how you can get quite creative when making these tracks. Okay, so I've got a little bonus section here. So I gathered a bunch of audio sound bites from things that you may recognize. If any of you have owned an Apple computer, you may recognize this next sound effect. And I extended it using the audio upload feature, and this is what it sounds like. If you've ever watched X-Files before, you probably know this theme. So I added this into Udio and they extended it, and it sounds like this. Okay, so we've reached the end of this video, and I urge you to go record loads of different sounding objects within your house and create some masterpieces. If you have any tips or tricks on how to create some amazing sounding songs, then please leave a comment down below. We would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to our channel. If you would like to watch another one of our videos, then feel free to click the image you can see on screen. Thanks for watching.